The New York Liberty, they're going to continue training camp after opening up earlier this week. And on Saturday, there was some news surrounding the future of one of the team's core players. So let's talk some Liberty hoops. We're going to do it with the great women's sports reporter for the New York Post, the one and only Madeline Kenney, who joins me now. Madeline, how are you doing? Joining me from the streets of Brooklyn. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, Maddie, we heard from General Manager Jonathan Kolb today, and how is the team addressing the likely suspension of Betnijah Laney-Hamilton's contract, and what impact does that have on the roster going forward?
Yeah, so as I previously reported, Betnijah is out indefinitely with a knee injury. She's probably going to be out for 5 to 6 months, and that's before she can return to basketball activities. So she'll probably actually be out for longer than that. And so more likely than not, Jonathan said today that they're going to end up suspending her contract. And there's a few reasons why they're going to end up doing that. One, it gives them some financial flexibility because her contract will be off the books for 2025. It'll also open up a roster spot, which allows them to add another player and have a 12-person roster. And the other benefit to it, too, is, with the chaos that's about to happen in 2026 for free agency, they'll also have exclusive negotiating rights with Betnijah. So, more likely than not, there's a way for her to come back in 2026 and not allow her to be an unrestricted free agent. So it makes a lot of sense. They have not officially done it yet, but it seems like, as Jonathan said, more likely than not, that they're going to lean in that way and suspend her contract.
All
and
right.
It's not a negative thing. I also want to make that clear. It's not like it's a personal thing or anything negative. It just gives them more flexibility to do what they want to do in this title defense.
Yeah, no, it definitely does, and we'll definitely get into that deeper about what they could do with that roster spot that now opens up for them once they officially do this. But we're now approaching about a week into training camp, Maddie. What has stood out to you the most about the Liberty's approach and energy during training camp so far?
Yeah, I mean, they've made it really clear that they're so proud of what they were able to do last season, but this is a new journey that they're on, and that they really want to defend their 2024 title. The biggest takeaway has been Natasha Cloud. It's hard not to hear her when you step into the gym. She's such a presence. She's so charismatic, and she's also a great player. I'm really excited to see how her and Sabrina share the court and what they're able to do this season. And I think, there's a lot of ideas about they don't want to just be what they were in 2024. They want to evolve. They know that the rest of the league, there's a lot of teams that have gotten better, including Indiana, Phoenix, and so many other teams. Atlanta made a lot of changes this offseason. And so they want to go into this new season, looking to win another team, because as Jonathan said today, they don't want to just be a one-hit wonder. They want to be a legacy franchise. They want to be iconic, which means you got to win more than one.
Yeah, going back-to-back would definitely help with that. Got to talk to you about Maureen Johannes, because she just arrived to camp back around the team. What's been the vibe around her return, and how do coaches envision her role, maybe possibly off the bench this year or playing with the starters? How do they envision her role with the Liberty this year?
Yeah, I think they see Maureen as, a backup option for guard. The ability that she's able to have with floor spacing and the way that she can impact offense and stuff. She's a great 3-point shooter. She can also do a lot of backdoor cuts and stuff like that. And so I think offensively, she's really exciting about the options that they have there, and defensively as well. She can defend a few positions, and she's going to have a lot of valuable minutes, most likely coming off the bench, but no less important for what the team wants to do this season.
All right, that's a role we could see here. And last thing for me, Maddie, New York, they play their first of 2 preseason games. That'll be next Friday. What's the biggest question mark do you think that needs to be answered with this team before they get to opening night?
Yeah, I think I'm really excited, as I previously mentioned, just seeing how Natasha Cloud and Sabrina play off each other. Jonathan mentioned today that he really thinks that Natasha is going to be able to unlock another level of Sabrina. He thinks that this season is going to be really special for Sabrina. And I think, just seeing how they share the point guard duties. And then also the other big question that they're going to have to address is the rest of their bench. Obviously, they're still going to have to make a few rounds of roster cuts. And a lot of those end of the bench decisions will be made in these 2 preseason games, and as well as in practice with the coaching staff sees from some of those players.
Yeah, we'll see how the final roster shapes out with the Liberty. Training camp has been fun to cover so far. Maddie, I appreciate you. Not too many reporters take the time from the streets of Brooklyn, my hometown, to do an interview, so I appreciate you. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Yep, thank you so much for having me.